Thank you, Cynthia, for pulling the meeting together today. Thank you for everybody who has joined. I think we'll probably have a few more join as the meeting commences, but why don't we begin by calling the roll, Jordan?
Chairman Bill Poole.
Here.
Vice Chairman Greg Reed.
Everybody unmute.
Vice Chairman Greg Reed. If you could unmute. Senator Bobby Singleton.
Here.
Representative Danny Garrett.
Here.
Representative Anthony Daniels. Mr. Rich Beelan. Dr. Michael Chambers.
Here.
Mrs. Brittany Somerville.
Here.
Mr. Abe Harper.
Here.
Mr. Dave King. Vice Chairman Greg Reed.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
All right. Thank you again, everybody. Having established a quorum, we will call this meeting of the Innovate Alabama Board into order, and we'll begin by considering the minutes from our last meeting, March 14th. It seems like it's been longer than that, but that's only 3 months ago. I trust everybody's had an opportunity to review the minutes, and I will entertain a motion.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign.
Aye.
All right, the March 14, 2024 board meeting minutes have been approved. Moving through our agenda, we'll call on Cynthia to discuss the emerging. Call on Abe Harper to discuss subcommittee updates.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's a privilege to say that all of the subcommittees have gathered and held their first meeting at this point. Some of those very proximate to this meeting. However, the minutes of each subcommittee are being compiled, Mr. Chairman, and as promised, those that were within the proximity will be proposed and generated for the board's review and for your review within 2 weeks, excuse me. And the ones that I was able to participate and attend were very exciting, as I've heard the others were equally as exciting. So subcommittees are moving forward with great pace. I think the team is finding value in the conversations that are taking place, and I'm excited to share in our next meeting some more content around recommendations and efforts the subcommittees are putting forward. If there are any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer those.
Are there any questions for Abe? Well, let me say to Abe and everybody who's participating in the subcommittee process, thank you. I think we all understand the significance of our governing responsibilities as it relates to Innovate Alabama, and the subcommittee process, I think, is going to give each board member a deeper dive into the operational aspects of Innovate Alabama. And I appreciate the time. I know that it's hard sometimes to marshal schedules and calendars, but I'm thankful for everybody's time that's been dedicated to beginning to stand up and really process the subcommittee processes. So thank you, Abe, and thank you to all the board members who have participated.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next, we'll move into a discussion of Innovate Alabama's 2024 focus areas, and I'll turn it over to Cynthia Crutchfield.
Okay, thank you very much. We will definitely keep this brief, as this is an abbreviated board meeting today. We are continuing on with execution with our year 2 priorities, including expanding our focus on rural communities, particularly focused on the network designation program, which, as you know, is a part of Access to Capital. We just completed a round recently, definitely broadened, as you recall from the last board meeting, participation in that program, preparing to open up the next round in September timeframe or in the fall. Keeping with that role focus regarding talent development focused on Quant Hub and the Alabama Scholars Program. You'll hear a little bit more about that today. And then finally, some exciting information around outdoor recreation. The team has really been focused on that, which is part of our lifestyle and recreation pillar. Similarly, regarding business attraction, the tax credit program. We have 8 applications that we will consider today. This is our second round for 2024. Very excited about some of the projects that we're starting to see. Finally, actually next, Silver Sitter just completed a 3.7 million round for those programs that are participating in the supplemental grant program. We attracted 6 companies, actually 6 applications, 5 companies that were outside of the state. And some of those companies were awarded. So we are starting to see the out-of-state participation. The participation within the state, of course, still does remain strong as well. And then finally, we are in the final throes of rolling out the SSBCI program. We're getting very close to starting our first transaction, so we're really excited about that. Waiting for a couple of press releases and final approvals, but we hope to start rolling out that program. Our plan is to roll it out with SLOSS Tech in June. So really excited about that. That's an overall picture. I will turn it over to Shannon to give us a quick update on the talent development programs.
Thank you, Cynthia. Good afternoon. I'm excited to update you on about 2 of our talent development programs. Innovate Alabama has partnered with QuantHub to launch Alabama Data Scholars, a pilot internship program designed to introduce Alabama high school juniors and seniors to data science, analytics, and emerging AI career pathways. Our goal was to identify at least 25 high-performing students and match them with corporate partners to complete data-intensive summer internships. As of today, this program has placed 26 students into internships with 20 companies that began on June 3rd. Almost half of the interns are from rural regions. Early feedback that we've received from our corporate partners indicate incredible alignment between the skills and the aptitude that they're looking for in our workforce and what they're seeing in the interns that they've attained through this program. Based on the early success that we're seeing from this summer's cohort, we would like to move forward with expanding the program for next summer by increasing the number of interns, adding new programming for Data Scholars alumni, and expanding the geographical reach to more areas in the state, including even more rural regions. QuantHub will also be pursuing work-based learning credentials for Data Scholars participants. Moving on to the Emerging Innovation Scholars Program in partnership with the University of Alabama, this program's focus is innovative entrepreneurship. This past school year, 79 students from 23 different states across 31 majors participated in the program. 19 teams developed ventures and received mentorship from some of Alabama's top professionals and executives. 3 of our teams have already gone on to become winners at the 2024 Edward K. Aldag Jr.'s Student Business Plan Competition. When asked if participating in this program has impacted their future career or educational goals, one of our students gave feedback about how this program has driven them to constantly seek new opportunities for innovative entrepreneurship. That is the type of talent that we're looking to retain and attract here in the state of Alabama, and we know that supporting our student entrepreneurs is an impactful way to do that. We're excited to pursue the expansion of this program to 4 additional universities: the University of North Alabama, Talladega College, the University of South Alabama, and Stillman College. We look forward to continuing to grow the bright talent that we have here in Alabama through the expansion of both of these programs. Thank you, Cynthia. I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Shannon, for that update. Mr. Chairman, we do have, and board members, we do have a couple of proposals in your packet. Mr. Chairman, I'll ask you if you're ready for the vote.
I am. Which proposal would you like to take up first, Cynthia?
Let's do QuantHub first.
All right. So there's a proposal to enter into the program agreement with QuantHub that's been provided to board members. Are there any questions? I know Shannon has summarized that program. Thank you, Shannon, for that. Are there any questions for Cynthia or Shannon regarding that agreement?
Mr. Chairman, this is Brittany Somerville.
Motion.
Mr. Chairman, this is Brittany. Can you hear me?
Brittany, you have the floor.
Thank you. Can you tell me, Cynthia, how many students with this new agreement will be able to serve in Alabama? So 26 with the first round. How many will we serve with the second round?
Shannon says 60.
Okay, thank you.
Any other
Mr. Chairman.
questions? Yes,
Mr. Chairman,
Senator Reed,
I've-
you have the floor.
glad to make the motion for moving forward with the Quant Hub program.
Thank you, Senator. We have a motion. A second, I heard a second. Sounds like by Senator Singleton. Any other questions? Hearing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor of approving the agreement with Quant Hub, please indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, nay.
Mr. Chairman, I will need to
Right.
abstain from that vote, however.
Okay, thank you, Abe. I intended to ask if anybody needed to recuse. Thank you for clarifying that for a minute. So, Cynthia will make sure that's reflected in the minutes.
Thank you.
All right, Cynthia, the second agreement, would you like to tee up for us?
Absolutely. So the second agreement is with University of Alabama, as Shannon said, expanding the scope of that program, the Emerging Innovation Scholars Program, taking that to some additional universities this time around.
Mr. Chairman,
Good. Are there any questions?
Michael
Yes.
Chambers here. Since a part of the proposal extends the program to the University of South Alabama, would you please note that I'm recusing myself from that vote?
That will be noted. Thank you, Michael, for clarifying. Are there any other questions or for that matter, recusals? Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second it,
Senator.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Singleton. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. All right, the Emerging Scholars Agreement and proposal has been approved. Thank you, board members. Thank you, Cynthia. Back to you.
Okay, thank you very much. So next up, we have access to capital. First program we'll talk about is the SSBCI program and the renewals. Just as a reminder, this program is federally funded to include the administrative portion of the work that we'll be presenting today. We have two proposals for our current incumbents who have been supporting us really since last year as we were just after the design of this program. The first proposal that we have is from M Street X, and again, the scope is essentially the same. We are adding, if you look at the original layout of the design, we were looking at a separate organization to do some of the initial work on validating the applications. We're going to bring that in-house. It's a little bit more cost effective. And so we're increasing that particular program by a portion of an FTE. But again, remembering that it is paid for via our $1.3 million administrative pot of funds.
Thank you for clarifying the source of funds, Cynthia. So the M Street X proposal is before the board. Are there any questions or concerns related to the statement of work that has been provided in the board packet or as to other matters? Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve.
Thank you, Abe. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Senator Reed. And I'll clarify, are there any recusals that need to be noted for the record? All right, hearing no recusals, having a motion and a second and no further questions, so we'll call the vote. All in favor of approving the M Street X statement of work, indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, nay. All right, the M Street X agreement is approved. Cynthia?
Thank you. Final agreement for SSBCI is for intellectual currency exchange. Again, this one is a continuation of the work that we're doing. This focuses on the venture program. This particular proposal is the same scope as last year. This particular company does not charge us for travel expenses. That's included in their proposal. So again, essentially, level of effort is the same. We are just continuing the work that we're doing in terms of oversight of the venture program.
All right. Thank you, Cynthia. Are there any questions regarding the intellectual currency exchange? agreement?
So moved.
All right. I heard a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
And a second. Are there any recusals to note for the record? Are there any final questions before we call the vote? All right, we'll call the vote. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. All right, the proposal is approved. Thank you, Cynthia.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, next, oh, did I hear someone? Okay, next up is the tax credit program. Again, this is our second round for this fiscal year, for fiscal 2024. Just as a reminder to the board members, we are allocated 25 million in tax credit. At our March meeting, we approved just over 8.8, almost 8.9 million in tax credits. Before you today will be around approximately 10.2 million. If we approve all of those credits that are being offered today, it would total around 19 million that we will have awarded, and that will relieve us just under 6 million for the remainder of the fiscal year. The first application that we have, and we'll step through these one by one. First application is with Rev Birmingham. They are coming in as an innovative company. This particular item is continuing the work that they're doing to support technical companies. The ask amount is $726,659. We are recommending approval for $726,659.
Do we want to vote one at a time, Cynthia? You want to run through them and we'll ask if there are any recusals and we'll match vote if that's feasible.
Okay, that sounds fine. I'll move on to the application number 2. Second application
Let me note that,
is,
Cynthia, if I may, but I'd ask board members as Cynthia moves through the individual proposals, please, Cynthia, if you'll pause and ask and take questions.
sure, absolutely. Any questions on Rev Birmingham? Okay, moving on to Hudson Alpha for biotech. Again, this is continuation and expansion of their current program. It's really focused on companies in new market tax credit areas. This program, actually, they were asking for support for 2 years. We're reducing that by 1 year because right now we are only entertaining 1-year programs. We want to get a little bit more experience under our belts with the program. Particularly, this program supports Huntsville, Dothan, and other rural spaces. The particular ask for this program is through just over $3 million. Our recommendation is $1,526,566. Are there any questions regarding Hudson Alpha Biotech?
Question. Is there any reason why we are below the amount that they're asked?
Yes, they requested for 2 years. Right now, we have not extended the program to 2 years. We're only doing year by year so that we can monitor performance on the program.
Thank you.
Okay. There aren't any additional questions. We'll move on to Innovation Portal. Innovation Portal is coming in again as an innovative company. As the last, they are really focused on supporting new market tax credit areas, supporting technical companies, basically converting university research into more commercialized properties. So one of our priorities, of course, is trying to get university professors to move their research to commercialization. This particular expansion and continuation supports that initiative. Are there any questions regarding Innovation Portal? One more thing, I did forget to give you the dollar amounts. For Innovation Portal, their request was $1,273,000. We are recommending approval for that amount. Are there any questions? Okay, Moving on to the next application, this application is for Opportunity Alabama. It is, again, looking at innovative companies in the area of tax credits. This particular one is for supporting Alabama's priority in regards to biomanufacturing. This particular application will provide technical assistance and also entrepreneurial support services to help increase the state's position in regards to biomanufacturing. This particular application is requesting $2,063,400. We are recommending approval for that amount. Are there any questions? Okay. Next opportunity, the fifth application is from the Chamber of Commerce of Huntsville, Madison County. This particular application is a little bit interesting in that what they are looking to do is create an accelerator that is focused primarily on defense companies. This organization will be looking at early stage technical companies, primarily product-focused companies. The idea is to take that technology that's being produced for the defense environment and look for dual purpose so that it can be used in the civilian market. For the Chamber of Commerce, they requested $1,244,150. We are recommending approval of that amount. Are there any questions? Okay, moving on to application number 6. This particular application is a combined EDO application between EDPA and Opportunity Alabama in support of the ALEX initiative. This particular application is around trying to repurpose ALEX to focus more on providing talent for technical innovation and startup companies. This application requested just over $2.4 million. We are recommending $500,000. What we're recommending is to provide seed funding so that they can explore the model just a little bit more, get validation on that model, ensure that we have sufficient numbers of companies that would actually use this capability. So that's the reason for the difference in funding amounts. Assuming that that concept is proven, then they can come back in and apply for additional funding. But we wanted to test out the model before we approve the $2.4 million. Are there any questions on this application?
Cynthia, I have a quick question. It says the applicant is the Economic Development Partnership of Alabama. So I'm assuming this is not the EDPA Foundation, correct?
This is the EDPA Foundation.
It is, okay.
Yes.
Cynthia,
Yes.
what is the time frame that they're going to be given to pursue the research on understanding if the model is going to work? How will we know if they want to come back and ask for more money, that what they've said is going to happen is actually what's happening?
So what we will do, I mean, first of all, we will partner with, we work closely with EDPA and Opal as well. We have given them some specific items that we're asking them to go back and assess, looking at participation, for example, of woman-owned companies. And then making sure that, I think the biggest thing is really making sure that there's sufficient requirements of those technical companies who would want to invest in this talent. So part of what they would bring back to us is the justification, that information as they work with accelerators on companies that would actually use this capability. They have until, I'm going to say, the next round, which opens for our fall board meeting. They would have that time to go and explore, but they could push that out until next calendar year if they so choose. So we aren't really giving them a time frame. It's really going to depend on their ability to move. Does that answer your question?
I think it does. Thank
Okay.
you.
Sure. Any other questions on this application for Alex? Okay. The next application, this is the second submission of this application. This one is for EDPA in support of Miles College, supporting their entrepreneurship program focused on minorities and women-owned businesses. They're going to be providing incubator space, mentoring and networking and also talent development. This particular program aligns very nicely, I think, to some of our other accelerators and incubating programs that we are running with a focus on first time using a university to sort of approach this problem. And that really was the reason for the resubmission. We wanted them to team with an existing economic development organization. This particular application is requesting $850,000. We are recommending $850,000. Are there any questions? Okay, hearing none, we will move on to the last application. The last application, again, is from EDPA. This is continuing on with their existing program with Techstars and the Energy Tech Accelerator. This particular application is requesting 20 million, $2,020,000. We are recommending approval for that amount. Are there any questions?
Cynthia, what will that be doing for Techstars?
Again, just continuation of their work, working with small startups, trying to attract those organizations, those companies, those founders to the accelerator.
So Cynthia, I think that's the full slate of the applications as recommended by you and staff. Is that correct?
That's correct.
For the benefit of the board, will you just quickly review the review process that's been undertaken that brings these applications to a point of recommendation of approval?
Sure. So first, the organization submits in their the EDO letter. We have to have the economic development organization that comes in and says we want to be an EDO, either state or locally. Once that application is submitted and approved, then the organization can go out and sponsor projects either on their own, or they can work with other organizations to sponsor them. We have an application that is posted on the website. Organizations will then come in, make their application, and then we have a small board that gets together, reviews those applications. We consider duplication. We make sure eligibility requirements are met. We look for overlap. We look for partnering. And then we talk about the funding, the amount of tax credits that we have available and appropriateness in terms of alignment to the markets that we've predefined. Assuming that all systems are go, then those applications are prepared for the board like we're doing today. Once approved, then we go out and notify the organization of their approval. And then we provide them the funding agreement. That funding agreement is between us and the organization to sort of lay out the requirement in terms of how they are to use the funds and then how they are to report their progress. They have a 6-month report and an annual report, and they're also required to explain expenditures and alignment to the budget that they originally submitted. They are also required to provide us their audited financials so that we can make sure that we do have discipline in terms of the expenditures of the programs. Once we get through the funding agreement process, then we notify Department of Revenue at the state of Alabama. They will open the portal And between the EDO has to log on, make sure that all of the tax donations are occurring the way that they're supposed to. The portal closes, and then those funds are transferred in, and then the EDO, provided those funds, are able to go out and execute their programs.
And remind the board, the internal review board, will you remind everyone who makes up that board?
Right now, it's myself, Dan Ruth, which is legal counsel, and Jordan.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Are there any questions by board members on any of the individual tax credit applicants or processes in general? I would ask, are there any specific applications that any board members need to recuse from voting on?
Mr. Chairman, this is Michael Chambers. I'm on the board of the Innovation Portal, so I will recuse myself from that vote. And if in fact those last three are the EDPA Foundation, I also serve on that board. But I'd hasten to add that I had nothing to do with the applications of any of these. But I will recuse myself from all those.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Brittany. I'm sorry.
thank you. I'm a former Rev Birmingham board member, so I recuse myself from that vote.
Okay. Thank you.
And Mr. Chairman, I serve on the board for Innovation Portal as well, so I'll need to recuse myself from that vote. And one minor correction, if I may, while I have the floor, with regard to the prior two resolutions that were passed, I think my recusal for the first should have been for the second, not the first, not Quant Hub, but the resolution for the schools. So just to clarify that for the record, please.
Okay. Thank you, Abe. So given we have a couple of recusals, why don't we just move through these and vote on each application independently so that the record is clear relative to recusals. So with that, let's run through our list. We'll begin with Rev Birmingham Inc. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Senator. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed, nay. All right, and we've noted the recusal of Brittany Somerville on this application. The next is the Hudson Alpha Institute for Biotechnology. Do I hear a motion?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you,
Second.
Abe. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. All right, I do not note any recusals on that vote for the record. Our next vote is on the Innovation Portal application. I understand that Michael Chambers is recusing from this vote. Do I hear a motion?
Abe, was yours on Innovation Portal?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct, Mr. Chairman. I'll also be recusing from Innovation Portal.
Okay, thank you, Abe. We'll reflect that in the record. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Senator. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, thank you, Senator. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Innovation Portal application is approved. Next on the agenda is the Opportunity Alabama application. I do not have any recusals noted on this vote. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Opportunity Alabama application is approved. Next is the Chamber of Commerce of Huntsville, Madison County, Inc. Application. I do not have a note of any recusals on this vote. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, nay.
Nay, no aye.
All right, thank you. The Chamber of Commerce of Huntsville, Madison County application is approved. Next, we have the EDPA application. This one, help me if I'm wrong on this, Cynthia, is in concert with Miles College.
When it was Opal,
Is it
on
Opal?
Alex.
Okay, thank you. And I will note that we have a recusal from Michael Chambers. Do I hear a motion?
So move.
So, second.
Got a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. That application is approved. Next on my list is the EDPA application and related to Techstars. Again, we'll note Michael Chambers' recusal on this vote. Do I hear a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved, Chairman.
We got a
Second.
couple motions and a couple seconds. All right. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. That application is approved. Is there one more?
Yes, Miles, yes,
That I've
EDPA and
missed?
Miles. EDPA and Miles.
Okay, thank you. So again, we'll bring that for noting Michael Chambers' recusal. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Oh, thank you. In a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Aye.
nay. All opposed, nay. All right, thanks, everybody. We've approved the slate of the tax credit proposals. Thank you, Cynthia. Back to you.
Excellent, thank you. I think the rest is easy street. So the final thing that we have for today is an update on lifestyle recreation. TC has a lot of exciting things that he'll talk about for a couple minutes.
All right, good afternoon. Thank you, Cynthia. Today, I'm happy to provide a progress update on several fronts. First, with much anticipation, we've launched the Seek Alabama Outdoor Recreation brand as a means of attracting and retaining talent in Alabama. This launch includes a website, an outdoor recreation map, social media channels, which I encourage everyone to engage with, and a marketing campaign that begins today in state and will move into a national campaign this fall. As part of that national campaign, we are partnering with Fast Company, a highly regarded media brand in tech and innovation, to bring Innovate Alabama's work to a national audience. We will be partnering with them on their Innovation Festival in New York in September, featuring speakers like Nobel laureate Jennifer Doudna from the Innovative Genomics Institute and CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella. There will be more to come on our activation and programming at Innovation Festival, and I'll be excited to share more as we make progress on this front. As part of our outdoor recreation marketing efforts, we have the unique opportunity to partner with Alabama-based Storyteller Overland to promote outdoor recreation in Alabama through wrapping and activating one of their Mystic Mode Mercedes Sprinter vans. This Seek Alabama Storyteller Overland vehicle will serve as our primary activation hub for the Seek Alabama brand as we travel the state and to places like Fast Company's Innovation Festival to encourage emerging talent and entrepreneurs to find their place in Alabama's outdoors. We're excited to partner with a successful Alabama business whose work embodies the culture of innovation in outdoor recreation we're aiming to showcase through our Seek Alabama campaign. I'm very excited about our integrated approach to growing outdoor recreation assets in our state. We will be debuting our outdoor recreation grants program within the Innovate Alabama network this fall to further expand the quality and variety of outdoor recreation experiences in the state while connecting our core audiences to Alabama's great outdoors. Thank you.
Thank you for that update, TC. For the board members, you guys should have received in your email earlier this week a link to the website. I really do. I know TC said it, but I really encourage you to click on that link and go take a look at the site. It's really exciting. If you've ever wondered about the connection of the outdoor assets and how important that is to talent attraction and retention, I think it's pretty clear. It draws a pretty strong connection. So I do encourage you guys to go out and take a look at it. And with that, Mr. Chairman, back over to you. This concludes our report.
All right. Thank you, Cynthia, Shannon, and TC. Appreciate all of your work. I will say on the website, I've not had a chance to interface with it yet, but I've already heard positive things. And I do want to note for the board and thank, I don't think he's on the meeting Zoom today, but Commissioner Blankenship, who's been involved throughout the process. And I think it's been a fantastic collaboration between the Department of Natural Resources conservation and in our efforts. So thank you, TC, Cynthia, and Shannon, for your work on all of these issues, but certainly excited to see that website come forward. I think a lot of folks are looking forward to interfacing with that site. And I think the board will look forward to hearing more about our marketing efforts, how to drive traffic and generate outcomes. So thanks, everybody. Well, that moves us into the good of the order portion of our meeting agenda. I'll have a couple of brief comments, but first I'll open it up for any board members that may have any questions, concerns, thoughts, suggestions on any issues or items on or off the agenda today.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I had a quick question for Shannon. She gave the presentation at the beginning. Shannon, you said that you had 20 corporate partners that were already engaged with the programs. Would there be a way you could provide me a list of who those companies are, the folks that are working with us as the partners already?
Yes, we can absolutely do that.
I'm
I don't
going to
have
ask
that list.
Hope.
Oh, I don't have that list with me here, but we can send it to you for sure.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to ask Hope Brassel and my office to follow up with you, Shannon, and get us that list.
Yes, great.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Reed. Anybody else?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, the comments by TC with regard to Storyteller Overland and the relationship being built there. I've been a longtime fan of them and their work in and around our state to encourage exploration of outdoor resources and what they do. So I think that's just a really unique collaboration, partnering with Fast Company to keep it moving forward. I remain excited about the efforts that are going there and what it's bringing back to the state already in that respect. And as a side note, I'm super excited about getting some wheel time behind that van when it comes available.
Sounds good. Thank you, Abe.
I'll have to add it.
Any other board members? All right, hearing none, I'll just wrap us up very quickly. This has been an abbreviated board meeting today per some prior communications. I want to thank the board members for joining us. I want to thank staff for preparing for today's agenda and meeting, but also noting this has been a fairly abbreviated meeting. We're looking forward to scheduling some summer opportunities for us to visit and work. So please watch and monitor. I know some of those communications are underway, but we are going to ask for some of your time, board members, and ask you to please do everything you can to attend as possible any of those events. I believe there's critical work to be done, and everybody's input. I think the entity will benefit from everybody's input very clearly. So please let us know what dates, times, the do's and don'ts work for you so that we can put that schedule together. Also, over the coming weeks and months, would encourage board members, please engage staff and ask questions. I know these board meetings, particularly when they're virtual in nature, are not the ideal forum for the exchange of information. So please do not hesitate. Reach out with questions, thoughts, concerns, ideas, criticisms, so that we can process those and improve everything we're accomplishing each and every day. Also want to make a very notable and important point to recognize Senator Reed, Chairman Garrett, Representative Daniels, and Senator Singleton. The legislature has recently concluded and passed Innovate Alabama's appropriation intact. That's due in large part to the hard work of those four individuals who advocate for Innovate Alabama in the legislature, help share and explain the work that is being done, the accomplishments that are occurring. So I want to pause and thank all four of them very clearly for their hard work on behalf of Innovate Alabama in all areas, but particularly as it relates to the state's appropriation that funds Innovate Alabama's activities. So that will conclude this meeting of the Innovate Alabama Board. Thank you again, everybody. We are adjourned.